Hello, my friends. Today I wanted to do a sacral chakra check-in. This card is from the Santa Muerte deck. This is the Ten of Wands. Wands, of course, represent creativity, passion, warmth. Let's see, what else am I missing here? I always miss these things. Action. I missed action. Creativity, action, passion, reproduction, of course, since we're talking about the sacral chakra. So more of the optimistic, fiery kind of person. Perhaps ambitious, although I associate that more with swords. In any case, let's see what's going on with your sacral chakras. Maybe we'll have different groups. So first we have the Page of Wands. So perhaps there's some reproduction going on. Pages represent children. Also, of course, new beginnings. So there could be beginnings, so a creative new beginning of some kind going on. An initiate, someone who's just beginning. Just beginning. Oh. The Fool. Did not see that coming. I suppose the sacral chakra would be a driving force behind being willing to take the Fool's leap. If there's a so creativity, passion, fiery, restless. Wands type of people are frequently restless. They don't like to stay put. And they're willing to take risks, I think, because they do want action. And they tend to be optimistic, so they'd be more willing to take a leap and be optimistic about the results. So perhaps, if your sacral chakra is in good shape, you may be willing to take that leap of faith, to be brave. Or perhaps the right word is impulsive. I don't know. What else do we need to know about this? Well, I suppose you want to know if this reading is for you. So, we'll start out with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit cards from Kim Krans, as usual. You've seen them many, many times. Apparently, you're an octopus. Let's see what the octopus has to say to us, or to say to you. If you don't feel that you're an octopus person, wow, opened right up to it. Wow, how nice, I didn't have to go searching. Okay, reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. Okay, yeah, I don't see Wands types being big on boundaries. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. When imbalanced, when in balance. Interested, engaged, intelligent. When out of balance. Why can't I say balance right? Needy, clingy, lacks courage. To bring into balance, space to oneself, and talk therapy. Interesting. What else do you need to know about yourself and your sacral chakra, which apparently is being overshared, shall we say? Yeah, I think I'm definitely going with oversharing on the sacral chakra. Oh, what's this? A sneaky card fell out. The Queen of Pentacles. All right, now I have to ask about this Queen of Pentacles because that does not make sense with this reading. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Well, this being the Santa Muerta deck, let's see what they have to say about the Queen of Pentacles. The interpretations that this person, creator, came up with are a little different. I love this deck. I really do. And I even love that there's some differences in interpretation of the cards. I don't always agree, but let's see what we have this time. The Queen of Pentacles is an able and influential figure, secure in herself and able to cope in the material world without problems, and from which she is abundantly rewarded. English is not their first language. She is an ambitious woman who desires to always go higher, but for fear of falling and failing, risks remaining a victim to uncertainties, hesitation, or showing avid and capricious behavior. The advice of the dead: do not remain too attached to what you have obtained or earned, but continue climbing without worrying about how much you are risking. So perhaps you are a Queen of Pentacles who is risk averse. You've done well, but you could do better. That's what I'm getting from this card. And also the risk aversion. Maybe you also have this, you are this octopus person, clingy, needing good boundaries. I would expect the Queen of Pentacles in reverse for that, but perhaps. Perhaps. I did ask who this reading was for, so is there anything else we need to know about this Queen of Pentacles? This is definitely a self-examination kind of reading. What do we need to know about this Queen of Pentacles? Perhaps confused, perhaps falling for illusions, perhaps believing that you have a lot of choices. But do you? Because now we have the Page of Cups and the Ten of Swords. I forgot to mention the Seven of Swords, so definitely not healthy. And a need to be the master, I believe. All right, so yeah, I'm not sure about this Ten of Swords. All right, so we have a betraying. The Seven of Swords is about lies, betrayal, deceit. And then we have the Page of Cups and the Ten of Swords, which is a very painful ending. So This Queen of Pentacles appears to be re-examining her options after a painful ending with someone who turned out to be a backstabbing Page of Cups. So probably some love bombing went on there. And this Queen is choosing now to become a master, a mentor, to work on spiritual connection, perhaps, but perhaps they have returned to wanting a more status quo kind of life, more ordinary. They may have given up on an extraordinary life. This Santa Muerta interpretation of the Queen as someone who, this Queen of Pentacles, as someone who is inclined to be risk averse. I could easily see them deciding that the status quo is what they want, rather than a leap of faith with a Page of Wands. All right, we need to find out about this Page of Wands. So somebody has been clingy and needy. Somebody thinks they're now ready to take the leap of faith. After having been stabbed in the back. Wait a minute, I said that wrong. Who is this Page of Wands? Tell me about this Page of Wands. Page of Wands is the Emperor. That's a big leap to go from Page to Emperor. Or perhaps you're working on your inner Emperor. So being consistent, being a good leader by example, not through force, deception, or any other thing, unpleasant thing. Now we have Two of Swords and Two of Wands, both in reverse. So perhaps the end of stagnation, the end planning. Is the planning over, or are you really stuck in thinking it over? Three of Pentacles in the upright. Wanting to work things out. All right, Page of Wands. Were you this traitorous Page of Cups at one point? Well, a lot of cards fell out. Oh, yes you were. Look at that. You did it, Page of Wands. You were the traitorous Page of Cups. Now you've been holding back, learning your lessons. But you have a King of Pentacles in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So life has not been easy for you. The King of Pentacles in reverse is someone who is pretty cruel, I think. Someone, and this Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, so you've had lots of bad luck. Just as a reminder, none of these characters have any gender well, in real life you have gender, but the cards don't refer to any specific gender, even if it's king or queen or whatever, or it may look male or female. The person that they're referring to may be male or female. Okay, so this whole thing has morphed into a reading for two people who are not speaking to each other currently. One of them has been working on their lessons and is planning on becoming an emperor. That's pretty impressive. The other one has also been working on their lessons and is working on becoming, well, perhaps not becoming anything special. I think they just want out. They just want to be done with this mess. So, now the question is, who's watching this reading? I mean, the octopus came out, and the octopus says that there's a need for boundaries and to stop being clingy. So there's definitely some codependency issues here. I'm not clear on which one of you is having or had the codependency issues. All right, perhaps this reading is for both of you. There doesn't seem to be a lot to say to the Queen of Pentacles except to be brave and keep going. Keep climbing that ladder. Usually the Hierophant has, well, I shouldn't say usually, but many times there's an indication that the Hierophant, there's a ascension process going on. And that may be what the ladder here is referring to. That although you'd like to choose to go back to your old life, to the status quo, perhaps it's time to try something new and different. It seems that you both need to take the Fool's Leap. What else does this Queen of Pentacles need to know? Divine timing is at play. And it's time to move on from the past. So letting go of what no longer serves you. So I don't think, well, wanting to return to the way things were is a very common desire when things have gone wrong. But if things have gone wrong, it's likely that the things that happened in the past set up that situation. So going back to the past will probably result in the situation happening over again, and you don't want that. So it is time to keep going, to keep moving. Perhaps you need to spend some time looking within to understand what happened, why it happened. And if you want to make spiritual progress, which you may, this is a very good way to do it. So the Queen of Pentacles, it suggested that you spend some time alone, looking within. That can also help you with boundaries. And I'm not necessarily seeing that. I'm not seeing anything about these two people getting together. Not now. There's just too much work to be done. I'm trying to get back to the sacral chakra because that's where we started out. It may be that I'm not seeing a lot of that kind of creativity and warmth and action on the part of this Queen of Pentacles, which doesn't surprise me. So this person could have more of an underactive sacral chakra, where this person could have more of an overactive sacral chakra. Although I'm not seeing... No, that's... Or may have had an overactive sacral chakra. How about... I'm going to pull up my... It's not really exclusively a chakra deck, but what the heck. Okay. What do these two people need to know about their sacral chakras? And we will take 2 cards, fill out immediately. Sometimes it's like that. You pick them up and you barely pick them up and they come right out. So we have the Seven of Swords again. So there's a need for, and justice in reverse. So there has been no accountability for the lies, deceit, and betrayal. And I don't see anything getting resolved between these two characters until that happens. They don't necessarily have to be together. The Seven of Swords has come up on both sides. It's possible, not likely, but possible that they are not connected to each other. I say not likely because the Seven of Swords came up first for this queen, as it seemed to indicate pretty clearly that she experienced someone doing that to her. And then when I asked if this Page of Wands was the person who did it, the Seven of Swords came out again. Anyway, you look at it, this Seven of Swords is a major, major issue between the two of them. Then this lack of justice, lack of accountability, is a major sticking point. So we have justice in reverse, and that indicates pretty clearly that there hasn't been any accountability. This situation has not been balanced. It's not fair. It's not remotely fixed. By fixed, I mean repaired. The imbalance is severe. Okay, so this card clearly refers to the solar plexus, the will, and this card refers to the throat chakra. There's also an indication of what goes around comes around for this. You can't escape the results or the effects of the Seven of Swords behavior forever. And maybe you haven't at all, given this King of Pentacles in reverse. That's not a good person. Perhaps that is your karma. So, these chakra readings go in wild and unexpected directions, like every single time. Okay. I'm going to leave that there, I think. Well, maybe I'll get you an oracle card just to give you some advice. I'm not sure what kind of advice this will be. I'm just leaving that open-ended. This is why I quit doing chakra readings. They kept going off in unexpected directions. They don't seem to be chakra related, but what do I know? Go the distance. Well, off the top of my head, I think you have a really tough road ahead of you. Both of you. This Page of Wands has done enormous damage, and this Queen of Pentacles has to recover. And the Page has a lot of growing up to do. And the Page is lacking strength and maturity. They may want to be the Emperor, but they are so far from it. Okay, 47. Okay. Go the distance, endurance, strength, the long haul. The Oracle's message: to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in a line with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Protection message. Do you feel as if you've been wandering in the desert now for ages and ages and nothing is happening? When you conjure up the image of the desert, you picture parched lips, sunburned skin, and mirages. But there's more to it than that. Amid the hot sands are creatures with resilient spirits, tough skins, and the willingness to burrow deep underground for water so that they may thrive. This is a time for developing survival skills and resilience. You are learning how to conserve your strength, and in this temporary time of austerity, it's wise to be selective about where you expend your energy. Listen to the call of your soul, because it will never lead you astray. This is an important time for letting go of what's not important. Well, I think you both needed to hear that. All right. I wish you all the best. Good luck.